I tried OMAD for the first time in September 2022. I tried it and I was extremely successful with it and lost 60 pounds in 8 months. During those 8 months, I actually threw in maintenance days, maintenance months, because it's important to learn how to maintain your weight loss as you are losing weight. OMAD was my second chance. It was a complete game changer for me because all my life I've struggled with emotional eating and binge eating. And to my surprise, OMAD was a great strategy to help me combat my binge eating disorder. Now, a lot of people say when you come off OMAD, you end up binge eating, but that is not true unless you understand these 5 lessons and 5 principles that I will talk about in this video. So let's get started. So if you guys are new here, I want you guys to know I've been on this weight loss journey since 2019 and I struggled for years. I started off at 282 pounds and I got down to 169 pounds. That is a total of 113 pounds lost on my weight loss journey, and I will forever, ever be proud of that because A, being in the 100 down club is pretty rare, and B, I did it through a tremendous amount of obstacles. And I want you guys to know that weight loss is possible as long as you don't give up. What happens when people don't get successful on their weight loss journey is because they quit. You can't expect to find success if you quit. If you fall, keep rising. Every failure is just an opportunity to get stronger. Because what I found on my years on my weight loss journey is that the more you fail, the more resistance and more wiser you get. Now, my weight loss journey really sped up when I introduced OMAD about 8 months ago, as I said. And when I introduced OMAD 8 months ago, I lost 60 pounds. So I lost more weight on OMAD than I did off of any other dieting method I've tried. I've tried keto, I've tried the traditional calorie counting way, and etc. But I want you guys to know the bottom line when it comes to weight loss, it's about being in a calorie deficit, and OMAD is just a hack. Now, let me clarify some things about OMAD because some people get confused. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. I like to call this OMAD style intermittent fasting. Now, you don't literally eat 1 meal a day. It's just a method of time restricted eating. Some days you may eat 1 meal a day, but those days should come rare. OMAD to me, or OMAD style intermittent fasting, is fasting anywhere between 20 to 24 hours per day and consuming all of your calories in that eating window. Now let's jump into the 5 lessons I learned about weight loss while eating 1 meal a day. Lesson number 1. OMAD is the diet that gives people hope. It's the diet for people who have struggled with their weight for years. They tried the calorie counting way, may have found some success, and then rebounded for whatever reason. Now, a lot of us out there have a lot of struggle with emotional eating and binge eating. I'm definitely one of them. And as someone who struggled with binge eating, OMAD gave me that second chance. And it's evident with people who have followed my journey and they've also struggled with weight loss and they have found success with OMAD and other methods of fasting. It gives people hope because when you struggle with an eating disorder, it's really hard. It's hard to get discouraged seeing the fluctuations in the scale going up and down because you may have binged. OMAD kind of eliminates that in that it gives you a consistent scale trend. The power of fasting just switches your body's metabolism into a fat burning machine, and it targets fat that usually doesn't happen on the regular kind of diet days. I know when I did OMAD, I lost a lot of belly fat. It just went for my belly fat. And there's science behind fasting and OMAD targeting subcutaneous fat. And who needs the science when it's evident in my personal journey? I know every time I would throw out a 24-hour fast, I would look at my stomach and it would just go down. It just turns your body into a fat burning machine. To get that fupa, if you guys have one, down, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. I don't know what it's called. I know it was called a fupa. The reason why OMAD gives people new hope when it comes to binge eating is because it restricts the amount of time you are allotted to eat. Now, someone who struggles with binge eating, emotional eating, stress eating, or what have you, they literally live for that dopamine hit of feeling full. They wake up first thing in the morning and they're craving that meal. They're looking for that meal. They're getting that meal, eating a bunch of food, getting full, and then waiting for a little bit of time to pass so they can shove in more food in their body. That's how I struggled with it a lot. And the power of OMAD is that it forces you to be present, and it forces you to not depend on eating all day. So it cuts the amount of time you are eating, which also cuts the amount of calories you consume. I was very pleasantly surprised when I tried OMAD 8 months ago, and I realized that, whoa, it's helping me with my binge eating. Because even if you guys had followed my journey, I talked about in my weight loss vlogs here how I was seeing a therapist to help with my binge eating, and all of those strategies of eating mindfully, eating slowly, it only worked for a time. But the most effective thing that worked for me was OMAD, because it worked in a way that my effort was getting rewarded. I would see a reward with the scale. The scale was consistent with OMAD. Whereas if I would screw up doing it the mindful eating way, eating 3 meals a day being normal, it wouldn't reflect in the scale, and then you would get discouraged. So the most powerful thing about that is OMAD is very scale friendly. Which leads me to my second point. One lesson that I really learned on my journey with OMAD is that the scale is not the enemy. Many of us fear the scale when we are on a weight loss journey. We weigh ourselves once a week. We avoid weighing ourselves, when I highly recommend everyone weigh themselves daily. Weighing yourself daily just gives you more answers when it comes to understanding your body and weight loss. It's not something to fear, because when you're weighing yourself once a week, you're missing a whole 7 days of data. What happened on Tuesday when you didn't get enough sleep and you ended up working out a lot? What happened on the days that you ended up not doing activity and you were kind of more sedentary? What did the scale do then? You need to know. When you know, you have power. Knowledge is power, right? So self-knowledge is power. So having knowledge about the scale gives you weight loss power. It gives you power over your weight loss journey. And I will keep advocating daily weigh-ins. There's nothing to be afraid of. The more you do it, the less the fear goes. And it's all about exposure therapy. The more you do something, the easier it gets, the anxiety goes away. So just get a scale and get on that thing daily so you can understand your trend. And the way to do that is to list your weight in something I call a weight log. You have your weight in one column and your calories in the next, and then you can use that data to figure out your actual maintenance calories. That is the only way to truly figure out your actual maintenance calories or your actual weight loss calories, because it changes. It changes per where you're at on your weight loss journey. I know when I'm heavier, my weight loss calories are different. My weight loss calories are lighter. For example, I'm in the low 180s right now. My weight loss calories are different than they were when I was in the 170s. So it's important to have that data. Number 3, another valuable lesson I learned with 1 meal a day is that calories is king. It doesn't matter. Calories is king. I've learned this method on many levels. Number 1, you can have junk food, eat it within a half an hour eating window, and you will still lose weight. Why? Because let's say a meal at McDonald's, a McChicken meal with some fries and maybe a Diet Coke. Let's say a Diet Coke to cut the calories is about 1,200 calories. I have that cheat meal within a half an hour eating window. Guess what? I'm still in a deficit, definitely in a deficit at 1,200 calories. And when I say calories is king, how I've learned this in another way is when, I would do an OMAD day where I would eat within an hour eating window, but I was eating high calorie dense foods. I was eating things like nuts, ice cream, and what have you. And what did the scale do? The scale stayed the same. There was no weight loss. So at the end of the day, calories is king. OMAD just literally is a calorie deficit on steroids, because the fasting kind of boosts the calorie deficit in a way that your body's forced to get creative in finding energy throughout the day. And when I say get creative, it's burning fat. And to furthermore on the calories is king, I've done keto OMAD, and keto OMAD and OMAD, you get the same results. Why I advocate for keto OMAD, I wish I can do it right now, but my concussion is not liking keto OMAD right now, so I gotta do regular, is that it crushes hunger, but the weight loss results are the same. It's the same. So that just to show you that macros do not matter on your weight loss journey. The only thing that matters is your calories. You manipulate the macros to help keep you satiated depending on what method of dieting you're doing. If you're doing keto, if you're doing OMAD 24 or more, meaning you're eating within a 4-hour eating window, so you're having little snacks, then if you're doing the little snack method, you want higher protein. If you're doing keto OMAD and you're having it within an hour eating window, you want to do higher fats. Those are just tools and manipulations to help keep you in a calorie deficit or to help make sure you get enough calories with keto OMAD, because it can be challenging. So at the end of the day, calories is kings. Macros are just used to help manipulate the calories to whatever goal you have. The fourth lesson I've learned on my journey with OMAD is that intermittent fasting will always be a part of my routine. It will always be. As someone who struggles with emotional eating and binge eating, intermittent fasting will always be a tool. It will definitely be in a form of, it could be 18-6 intermittent fasting. I know I will not go lower than 18-6. Maybe there's the rare day I have breakfast, go to the gym and do a 2MAD or something. Maybe there's a day where I have a 16-hour fast, but for the majority of the days, I am not gonna go below 18-6, and I probably will stay fasting for 20 to 24 hours daily. Reason being is that when I shrink my eating window, I shrink the opportunity where I'm just going there mindlessly eating and eating more calories. Shrinking your eating window shrinks the amount of calories you consume, therefore maintaining your weight loss. Even when I get to my maintenance calories, I will probably have to open up to 18-6. Still, it's gonna be very hard for me at my maintenance calories, because when I'm at real maintenance, and when I say real maintenance, I mean maintenance where I'm finally at my goal weight and I'm gonna be able pushing it hard at the gym and pushing the muscle and the protein and all of that, I'm probably gonna need a bigger eating window. But intermittent fasting will always be a part of my routine because it's just a hack to stay in a calorie deficit for me. I love it. It's a useful hack. I definitely want to get into bodybuilding one day, and it will definitely be a useful hack when I am pushing my body to a point of getting shredded. Now, the greatest lesson I've learned on OMAD is that you don't have to stress with your weight loss, because you can go out with your girlfriends and have a night out. You can have that cheat meal and have a night out and not worry about your weight. Because OMAD is powerful in that when you do it for a long enough time, remember, I did it for 8 months consistently. When you do it consistently for a long enough time, it kind of puts your body in a state where it like metabolically balances out. I said it in my live stream that OMAD has literally crushed my obesity. I have not been obese since I've been consistent with OMAD. My BMI has always been under 30, which I pride in that. And like, you can go out for a night with your friends and enjoy yourself. You don't have to restrict or be like, oh, I can't have to have a salad or I can't have the alcohol. Go do a 24 or more OMAD. You know, how long are you actually eating with your friends when you're going out or with your significant other? If you're eating for an hour, maybe 2 max. If you're at a bar chilling and what have you, you have a 4-hour eating window day, fast all day, go out with your friends. Don't worry about it. Have the drinks, live it up. The scale will balance itself out. The next day, yeah, there might be a bit of weight gain or there might not be, but who cares? What do you do the next day? Just throw in a couple OMAD days and you'll be back down to where you're at. So OMAD is powerful in that, like, I can have a cheat day and not see the scale balloon, like, and when I say cheat day, I mean cheat meal, and not see the scale, actually I can even get away with a cheat day. There's been days where I've gotten away with a cheat day. Like, when I say cheat day, I have a 6-hour eating window, and the scale kind of just did its thing. It went up a couple pounds, and then it went down once I fasted the next day. Like, OMAD just gives me that confidence and that power, and it takes away that stress. And it's not just OMAD, it's intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting just takes away that stress. Like, I can go out and have some wings and have cake and have what have you, ice cream, a milkshake, and know that I am in control of the scale. The scale won't get away from me like it does with other methods, like the traditional way of counting your calories, eating 3 meals a day, doing it the traditional way. You know, when you have one off day, that scale is mean to you, and it takes days, sometimes a week. or 2 to bring it back down. And with OMAD, you don't need a week or 2. You just need a day or 2, and then the scale is back on track. Now, let me know if there are any questions you have about OMAD and intermittent fasting. It's really helped me out. It's been a tremendous part of my journey, and I'm still doing OMAD to continue to get me down to my low weight, my new low weight. Again, I'm sitting in the 180s right now. So my goal is to get back down to my lowest weight, which was 169, and to push for my ultimate goal weight of 155 pounds, so I can just get to the point where I'm just maintaining, building muscle, where I can eat more and just live life. If you made it this far into the video, just drop in a bunch of muscle emojis, and please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button, as these acts definitely help get my video out to more people, where I can help people who have been on the same boat as me, who've struggled with weight loss, who've tried the traditional calorie counting way, who've tried it the traditional way but still struggle. Maybe my story can help more people and we can rock this journey together. Anyway, I'm sending you guys mad love. Take care. Bye.